The incident. The Valthorian Empire had expanded across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy, assimilating or subjugating 27 species over 12,000 years. Their chitinous exoskeletons and cold, calculating compound eyes had become symbols of meticulous efficiency and unwavering dominance throughout known space. They were not cruel by their standards, merely practical. The strong survived, the weak served or perished. This was the natural order of things. Humanity, by comparison, was barely worth noticing. A single-planet civilization that had only achieved faster-than-light travel 3 centuries prior. Their colonies numbered fewer than 50, their military vessels less than 1,000. The Galactic Council had admitted Earth as a member out of tradition rather than respect. All spacefaring species were welcome at the table, even the insignificant ones. High Imperator Zex Cowran of the Valthorian High Command stared at the communication request flashing on his terminal with 6 of his 8 eyes. The remaining 2 focused on military reports from the outer territories. The humans again, his aide, Turvex, noted. They've submitted 17 formal communication requests in the past cycle. What do they want now? Zex Cowran's mandibles clicked with irritation. The same. Information regarding their diplomat who died during the incident at Outpost Krell 9. We've provided all necessary information. Ambassador Samuels perished during an unforeseen reactor fluctuation. Regrettable but not our concern. Turvex hesitated, his antennae quivering slightly. The humans claim our explanation contains inconsistencies. They've submitted evidence suggesting the ambassador was deliberately exposed to radiation after discovering unauthorized weapons testing in violation of Galactic Council edicts. Preposterous. Zex Cowran dismissed the communication with a swift motion of his manipulator appendage. They can submit their grievances to the Council like any other minor species. I have a war to oversee. In the central chamber of the Galactic Council on Nexus Station, Ambassador Helena Chen of Earth stood before representatives of 800 species, her black diplomatic uniform bearing only a single emblem, a silver Earth against a field of stars. The Valthorian Empire has rejected all diplomatic channels, she stated, her voice carrying clearly through the vast chamber. Ambassador James Samuels was murdered while investigating violations of Council Resolution 5529, prohibiting quantum displacement weapons development. The evidence has been provided to this council. The Valthorian representative, Sub-Imperator Krasviller, rose from his seat. His massive form towered over the human ambassador, mandibles clicking rapidly in their species equivalent of dismissive laughter. The humans' accusations are baseless. Their ambassador died in an unfortunate accident. We have provided compensation according to council standards. 300,000 credits transferred to your government. The matter is closed. Ambassador Chen's expression remained perfectly composed. Earth rejects the compensation. We seek justice, not currency. Justice. Krasviller's compound eyes glittered. You have no power to demand anything from the Valthorian Empire. Return to your insignificant world and be grateful we bothered to notice your loss at all. Silence fell across the chamber. Many expected the human to retreat in the face of such dismissal. Instead, Ambassador Chen simply nodded once. Very well. Earth will respond accordingly. As she turned to leave, Krasviller called after her. Is that a threat, human? Your species has neither the strength nor the will to challenge us. Ambassador Chen paused at the chamber entrance. It is not a threat, Sub-Imperator. It is a promise. One human is all humans. All humans are one human. The Valthorian representative's mandibles clicked in amusement as the human departed. Several other council members approached him afterward. Perhaps you should consider a more thorough investigation, suggested the Alderian representative, her luminescent tendrils pulsing with concern. Humans are unpredictable. They are primitive and weak. Krasviller dismissed. What could they possibly do? The answer came 3 days later. Across Valthorian space, every human presence simply vanished. Human trade ships in transit activated their FTL drives and disappeared. Human diplomats and tourists departed on the first available transports. Human businesses on Valthorian worlds closed without explanation. Within 72 hours, not a single human remained in any territory controlled by the Empire. "They're running scared," High Imperator Zex Kalran declared during the emergency council session. "They make bold statements, then flee at the first sign of potential conflict." The ancient Exivri arbitrator, oldest member of the council, slowly shook his crystalline form. "I think not, High Imperator. The humans are not retreating. They are preparing." "For what?" "War." Zex Kalran's mandibles clicked rapidly. "Their entire fleet couldn't destroy a single Valthorian battle group." "Perhaps they seek a different kind of victory," the arbitrator suggested. "The first sign came when the Valthorian colony world of Dreskar lost all interstellar communications. Then 3 more colonies went silent. No distress calls, no signs of attack. Simply complete communication blackouts. "Human sabotage," declared Naval Commander Vexthal. "They must have planted devices before their departure." High Imperator Zex Kalran dispatched investigation teams to the affected worlds. They reported an unprecedented situation. All quantum entanglement communicators, the backbone of faster-than-light communication, had been simultaneously reconfigured to an unknown frequency. The technology to accomplish such a feat didn't exist, not even in Valthorian science. Then came the economic disruptions. Valthorian financial systems began experiencing cascading failures. Supply chains collapsed without warning. Critical resource shipments failed to arrive at military installations. Automated defense systems initiated unexpected maintenance cycles, leaving strategic vulnerabilities. In the Galactic Council, Ambassador Chen returned, this time accompanied by a delegation of 50 humans, all wearing the same simple black uniforms with the Earth emblem. "What have you done?" demanded Kraz Velar, his massive form trembling with barely contained rage. "We have done nothing that violates any galactic law," Chen replied calmly. "We have simply withdrawn all human cooperation from your empire. No acts of war have been committed. No Valthorian has been harmed. You've sabotaged our communications, our economy. No, we design much of your communications infrastructure through subsidiary companies. We've simply exercised our intellectual property rights to withdraw our proprietary protocols. As for your economy, humanity may be militarily insignificant, but we comprise 15% of all financial analysts, system architects, and logistics specialists in galactic society. They have all taken bereavement leave simultaneously, as is their right under council labor laws." The chamber erupted in murmurs. Few had realized how deeply humans had integrated themselves into the foundational systems of galactic civilization. "You cannot possibly maintain this disruption," Kraz Velargist. "Your people will suffer economic hardship." Ambassador Chen smiled slightly. "Every human in the galaxy has contributed to a solidarity fund equivalent to 6 months of their salary. We are prepared to maintain this stance indefinitely." "For what purpose?" the arbitrator asked, crystal form pulsing with curiosity. "What do you hope to achieve?" "Justice for Ambassador Samuels," Chen replied simply. "A truthful accounting of his death, accountability for those responsible, and assurance that similar violations will not occur again." "Or what?" Kraz Velar demanded. "You'll continue this economic terrorism." "This is merely Phase 1, Chen said, her voice utterly calm. "We would prefer not to implement Phase 2. A chill spread through the council chamber. No one asked what Phase 2 might entail. 3 days later, as Valthorian military vessels began experiencing critical system failures and their homeworld's atmospheric regulators mysteriously reset, causing widespread panic, the Valthorian High Command requested a private audience with Earth's representatives. High Imperator Zex Kalran faced Ambassador Chen across a secure communication channel, his mandibles twitching with suppressed fury. "Your tactics dishonor the traditions of conflict," he accused. If you wished war, you should have declared it openly. We don't wish war, High Imperator. We wish justice. One human was killed. We haven't taken a single Valthorian life in response. Isn't that restraint rather than dishonor? The High Imperator's compound eyes narrowed. What would it take to end this disruption? The truth about Ambassador Samuels, the responsible parties identified and held accountable. A Galactic Council inspection team granted unrestricted access to all weapons development facilities in Valthorian space. Impossible. Our sovereign. Then we continue, Chen interrupted. And tomorrow, we implement Phase 2. Zexcaloran's antennae quivered. What is Phase 2? Ambassador Chen smiled. We share our evidence and methods with every other species in the galaxy. Silence stretched between them. You would destabilize the entire galactic order over one human life. Zexcaloran finally asked. Yes, Chen replied without hesitation. One human is all humans. All humans are one human. The response. Captain Ilara Voss of the Earth Defense Force vessel Resilience watched her view screen as the Valthorian delegation approached Neutral Space Station Gamma. Her ship was one of only 3 human vessels present, a deliberately minimal military presence to emphasize that this was a diplomatic, not martial, resolution. They've brought 12 battlecruisers, her tactical officer noted. Standard intimidation formation. As expected, Captain Voss replied calmly. Maintain current posture. No weapons charging, no active scanning. Passive sensors only. The Galactic Council chamber aboard the station had been prepared for the extraordinary session. Representatives from all major powers had assembled to witness the unprecedented confrontation between humanity, a minor power by conventional standards, and the Valthorian Empire, a dominant force for millennia. High Imperator Zexcaloran entered surrounded by guards, his chitinous exoskeleton enhanced with ceremonial battle armor. Ambassador Chen wore only the simple black uniform of Earth's diplomatic corps. The contrast could not have been more striking. We have reviewed your demands, Zexcaloran began, mandibles clicking tensely. The Valthorian Empire will permit a limited inspection of 3 designated research facilities and will provide additional details regarding Ambassador Samuel's unfortunate demise. Unacceptable, Chen replied immediately. Full access to all weapons research facilities and complete disclosure regarding Ambassador Samuel's murder. You dare to. Additionally, Chen continued as if he hadn't spoken, we have now entered Phase 2. The chamber's main display activated, showing real-time footage of Valthorian military bases, weapons facilities, and even the personal quarters of several high-ranking officials. What is this? Zexcaloran demanded, his voice rising to a high-pitched clicking. Information sharing, Chen explained calmly. For the past century, humanity has specialized in information technology, artificial intelligence, and network infrastructure. We've built much of the computational backbone that your empire relies upon. Did you never wonder why humans were so eager to accept seemingly minor roles in your great civilization? The displays showed schematic details of quantum displacement weapons, violations of at least 17 Galactic Council resolutions, and most damning, footage of Ambassador Samuels being deliberately exposed to lethal radiation after discovering these violations. These feeds are being broadcast to every member of the Galactic Council, Chen continued. Every violation, every crime, every secret. You can destroy this station, kill everyone here, but you cannot stop the transmission. It's already done. Throughout the galaxy, species that had long feared the Valthorian Empire watched in stunned silence as the Empire's violations and cruelties were exposed in meticulous detail. Most shocking was not the Empire's brutality, which many had suspected, but humanity's response. No warships, no assassinations, no violence whatsoever, just the simple, devastating power of information. Zexcaloran's exoskeleton seemed to shrink before the assembled council. You've destroyed us without firing a single shot. No, Chen corrected. We've given you the opportunity to rebuild as something better. The choice is yours. The arbitrator's crystalline form pulsed with impressed light patterns. Remarkable. In all my centuries observing galactic politics, I've never witnessed such an effective application of soft power. The humans have changed the nature of interstellar conflict. The resolution came swiftly after that. The Valthorian Empire, facing economic collapse, and the united condemnation of the Galactic Council, accepted all of humanity's terms. Those responsible for Ambassador Samuel's death were surrendered for trial. All illegal weapons programs were dismantled under Council supervision. Reparations were paid, not in credits, but in actions and reforms. 3 months after the crisis began, representatives from across the galaxy gathered on Earth for the memorial service of Ambassador James Samuels. The ceremony was held in an open-air amphitheater, with the backdrop of Earth's natural beauty. Mountains, forests, and clear blue skies, visible to all attendees. Admiral Elena Marquez, Supreme Commander of Earth's Defense Forces, addressed the assembled dignitaries. Many of you have asked why we responded as we did. Why not a military strike? Why not devastating retaliation? The answer is simple. James would not have wanted it. She gestured to the memorial, a simple stone with Samuel's name, and the words, "One human is all humans," engraved upon it. Humanity learned long ago the futility of responding to death with more death. We chose instead to demonstrate a different kind of strength, not the strength to destroy, but the strength to transform. The Valthorian representative, newly appointed after the previous government's dissolution, approached the memorial and placed a ceremonial token of remorse beside it, the highest honor his species could bestow. "We did not understand," he said, voice subdued. "We saw your reluctance to engage in warfare as weakness. We now recognize it as wisdom." As the ceremony concluded, the arbitrator approached Ambassador Chen privately. "I confess, Ambassador, that I am troubled by the implications of your methods. The level of infiltration into another species' systems suggests you could have done this to any civilization." Chen nodded. "Yes, we could have. Then why target only the Valthorians? Why not expand your influence further?" "Because we want a galaxy of equals, not subjects. We want partners, not vassals. Humanity has no desire to rule, only to live in peace and justice." The arbitrator's crystalline form pulsed thoughtfully. "And if another species threatens that peace?" Chen's expression remained serene, but her eyes hardened slightly. "Then they will discover, as the Valthorians did, that humanity's greatest weapon has never been our ships or our guns. It's our unity. One human is all humans. All humans are one human." As word of the resolution spread throughout the galaxy, a new understanding of humanity emerged. They were not the militarily insignificant species many had dismissed. They were something far more dangerous. A civilization that had woven itself into the very fabric of galactic society, not through conquest, but through cooperation and service. The lesson was clear. Humanity didn't need overwhelming firepower to defend itself. It had made itself essential, and in doing so, had redefined the nature of power itself. One human life, it seemed, had changed the galaxy forever.